It is a mess. I had heard over the years that you can have chaos in the city, mayhem in the cities. At that time, I didn't understand how something like that could happen. I know that all human beings are born into a fallen state. You have to overcome it. I know that if you don't overcome, you end up screwing up your own life, and as a result, hurting others on the outside of you as well. But I didn't know that our government would deliberately cause this to happen, and that human beings would be so out of control that they could be used by the government for destruction. Now, I know they can be used by the devil, but I didn't know they could be used by the government. And now I know. And I know that the decent people are moving from these inner cities to other cities, certain states like Texas, Florida, and other states to get away from it. But the government is hauling them to those states that you're running away from. Like the illegal aliens, for example. They are being deliberately allowed to cross over to our country, and there is a truckload of them coming right now. There's really almost nowhere to run. Nowhere to run to, baby. Nowhere to hide. Because the government bring them into those states where the decent people have moved to. And they know the kind of people to bring in for destruction. If you notice, they're not bringing in white people. Maybe a few here and there out of Ukraine somewhere, maybe. But other than that, it's non-white people that these people, our government, is deliberately bringing into the country. And they work overtime to stop anyone who stands against them. Anyone. Especially if you're white, male Christian. And yes, Christianity is under attack.
The largest Somali community in the United States is here in Minnesota, especially in the Twin Cities and this metro area. We are part of the community as American citizens, and we were feeling like we didn't get our full rights yet, because part of our full rights is the adhan of the salah, our prayer.
These are the covers. So always, when we have raining and then we come up, just.
That one up there is
senior high rise, yeah. The tall one.
This one is kind of really facing them.
So they can hear from here, there. So they hear it.
If that doesn't make you shaking your boots, I don't know what will. The Minnesota City Council approved a resolution to allow the public broadcast of the Muslim call to prayer. This was America, at least I thought so. And the problem is when you bring in all these people from different parts of the world, they bring in their mess. They bring in their hood. They bring in their stuff and create that environment in the United States of America, and it gets to the point where it doesn't even look like America anymore. Downtown Los Angeles, it looked like Mexico. And you could drive down through Chinatown, Koreatown, Mexican town, and it looked like you left the country. And it's a mess. And there's nothing beautiful about it. Why do they come here and create the same environment that they ran away from? Our country is quickly being recreated into an S-hole country. So the United States began issuing visas to Somalia refugees displaced by civil war in the early 1990s. A group of volunteer, listen to this, a group of volunteer agencies worked with the federal government to resettle the refugees in places like Minneapolis. So the government is working to replace these people into white towns, majority white towns. They want to wipe out the whites. The attack is on the whites because they already got the inner cities and things.
Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
Just wanted to call and agree with you. I lived in Muslim countries for 12 years, and I can say without shadow of a doubt that the worst part about living in those countries is not the heat or the Muslims themselves, but it was the call to prayer. It is deafening. They don't just do call to prayer at sunrise. They do a call to prayer an hour before sunrise. Depending on the time of the year, they're screaming into the microphones all over the city at about 4:30 in the morning. When I heard Barack Obama tell the biggest lie he ever told when he said it's the most beautiful sound on earth, he was full of it.
That's amazing. He would choose evil sound over good because Barack Obama, the fallen Messiah, hate Christians. So, Rusty, do you believe that if our country continue to bring in these people, that eventually they're going to take over the country with that? We'll hear that all over America.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They sure as hell are going to try. We are so tolerant, but that's how they'll eventually. That's how they'll try to take over. They'll put mosques. They'll buy up real estate. Here in D.C., they bought an old, there's a church that closed, and they bought, and they're going to turn it into a mosque. And that's the first step. As soon as they'll do that, and then they'll start broadcasting the speaker just like they did in Minneapolis, and it'll grow from city to city.
We are tolerant. What do you mean by that?
I think that people won't object to a mosque being built in neighborhoods because I think we're taught to be tolerant of other religions.
So it's like you're on your own, and so things out there, outside of you, inside of others, are going to get worse. There's not going to be a change in America anytime soon, short of a miracle from God. If ever we needed you, Lord, we need you now. Short of a miracle from God, you haven't seen anything yet. It's gonna get worse. You can't rely on the government or anyone outside of you to take care of you. But thank God for Jesus. You can overcome the fallen state and live in this world and not be moved about what's happening around you. You can. But you got to overcome the world by overcoming anger, overcoming the nature of the devil. And everything, the Spirit of the Father, of the Son, is dwelling in you, and it will change you. And you could be in this world, but not of it. You can't change yourself. No way. Because if you try to change it, it'll be fake. And when the first storm comes, you'll be wiped out because it's not real. It's spiritual. There's nothing. That's why you must be born of the Spirit of the Father. The same Spirit that dwells in the Son dwells in you. Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.